here to talk about information technology in education. Information technology has greatly changed the way how education is undertaken, particularly in how easy it is to use as well as abuse. An example of this can easily be found in a recent topic we recently covered last week, handing in assignments. Barely 50 years ago, if you wanted to hand in an assignment, you had to physically write it down and give it to the teacher. Even as close as my VCE class, which was 10 years ago, by the way, I know I'm old, I still had to hand in my assignments by hand. Nowadays, Dropboxes, which I'll go into more detail in week 8, are used to hand in assignments, which can have cut-off dates and anti-plagiarism controls already built in. If one wanted to check the plagiarism in the past, they'd have to pretty much store all past assignments physically within reach, and they'd have to manually check each one to see if that was copied. Of course, that also meant that copying was a lot harder. Nowadays, all assignments, past and present, are stored in a database, and the teacher can simply activate a program and it automatically scans all assignments to ensure you didn't purposely copy from your friends or older relatives. The point of everything I'm talking right now is everything's all easier to use, in both advantageous ways and disadvantageous ways, like I just covered. Though the only downside now is while some people might find it easy to use, there are also some people that might still have problems using it. The stuff that we talked about in class, not everyone has internet access, or they might be living in isolated areas, or just simply not having the money to afford it. I mean, money's tight nowadays. Though, as time goes on, we found out that computers are getting cheaper and cheaper to use, and a lot of them nowadays do have some sort of computing system on them. There might be some of the bigger ones, but still. They might have some trouble to adapt, but in a way, for them, it's kind of like adapting to learning to a bike. So that means they'll slowly get used to it, and after a while it just comes second nature. However, there is another problem that I've found out particularly recently. The ones who find computers somewhat cumbersome and hard to use. I mean, even in my class, I won't name anybody, by the way, I found some fellow students openly stating that they can't work well with computers, and they have difficulty operating unfamiliar programs. What I can say to them is this: it's okay. Everybody's no. If you have any problems, come contact me. I'll be glad to lend a hand. We're all learners, and we need to stick together. So we need to connect. So those of us who are more comfortable with computers can mentor those who aren't. Thank you for listening, and good night.